So a lot of people are complaining about their screen scratching when they put it in the dock, but the reason why most of you are fucking it up is because you're not being gentle enough with it. You have to make sure you're extremely delicate when putting it inside. Kind of like that. That's how you kind of do it. Maybe that's not the best way to dock your Nintendo Switch, but in this video, we're going to be figuring out what that best way is. By the way, before we continue, big shout out to Jonathan Morrison, who apparently did this Switch-themed desk, and it looked pretty damn sexy.
Yo guys, Jonathan here, and it is no secret I love this one in particular next to me is beautiful. The gray mixed with the custom blue and red drawers look amazing, and shout out to my boy Etika, because this is clearly
Joy-Con boys!
Inspired.
And if you're talking about the Switch and sexy in the same sentence, then you know damn well you're gonna have to bring up me, nigga, them boys, nigga. I mean, it's standard. You all know this stuff. Big shout out to you though, Jonathan. You know, I fuck with Lamar and all of them, so I mean, really do appreciate it. Nintendo themselves have commented on the whole Switch dock scratching screen thing, and they've said themselves, we don't know what people are talking about. We doubt that the docks are doing this kind of thing. And whether Nintendo is right or wrong, I know personally, myself, I don't feel too comfortable putting my Switch inside of the dock just because everything in there is hard plastic. As much as they want to say that there are no problems with that, I personally don't like it. And I know there's probably some fucking barbarians with these big ass meaty ass hands who are taking their Switch and just fucking pile driving that shit like it's a goddamn sex film. So I'm not going to trust the dock 100%. So if you're in the same boat as me, maybe some of these techniques will be able to help you. But I think the ultimate technique is the last one that we're going to be talking about. But first, the thing that I think is the sexiest option, but the most impractical one, is this. The Nintendo Switch Travel Adapter Dock Dongle, long ass name, unnecessarily kind of thing, which basically takes your Switch dock, takes out that converter box in the back, and turns it into its own 75% smaller little traveling case thingy that you can use to put the signal out to the TV from the Switch without one, it being docked, and two, from a really small package. I think it looks sexy. The only problem with it is that it's not too practical for people because you can't really buy them, and if you want to make one, you would have to go through a crazy amount of steps for it to look as sexy as this one does. So in terms of practicality, this one gets a D. Actually more like an F. But in terms of looks, this definitely gets an A. Moving on to the next technique. There's still some more that I have that maybe might work out a little bit better for you. A motherfucking condom. You heard me correctly, my boys. A condom. I'm telling you, it's a goddamn condom. Take a look at this. You can see here, they have Nintendo Switch sock dock covers. And I don't know if this is necessarily the best looking way to prevent scratches, but it's more affordable, and I guess if you, for me it's not really that good looking, but if you're into it, then why not? I mean, it would have to be a sick design. Some of these are kind of meh for me, but if you were interested in it, they're only $13, and you get it on, you slip it on the dock front, and next thing you know, you have a cock sock for your Switch dock. I did like 1,000,000 takes of this video. That joke has been said by me like 1,000,000 times. It's not even funny to me anymore, but I just hope that it makes somebody laugh because it's been a very long afternoon. This one is one that I didn't cover either. It shows us with the Switch dock having the whole front of it cut off and a 3D printed nub on the front, I guess. This looks kind of nice. I think in terms of all these solutions, this one looks the sickest aside from the travel adapter. Looking at the pictures here, the only problem is that you would have to 3D print it. So if you don't have a 3D printer just laying around the crib, this might not be too practical for you either. But I think it's far more practical than the first method because all this one requires is just cutting the front of your Switch dock in half and then just putting this nub on the front. I think it looks sicker than a lot of other options though, just because you can see the screen in front while this thing is docked. And you can still have the Switch logo on the bottom here, I think. This might be a method that you would be interested in yourself, and I'll leave this down below. But for me, it's too out of the way and requires too much work. We need something that you can buy, one, that, you know, and that takes the travel adapter completely out of the equation, and two, something that doesn't really require too much setup or assembly. Sounds impossible, right? But until you realize that the next method, the last method, the ultimate method in my book, is one that was actually covered on the channel in a small way. I have the extension cable right here in the crib, so we're going to see how effective this is. Now, we can read people doing it, but you know, you don't really know until you see somebody that you're familiar with doing it for themselves, and you all know how how tech savvy I am, right? So if I can do this, you niggas can definitely do it. Let's take a look. So we have a USB Type-C extension cable, one that I got off of Amazon, and I'll throw the link for this in the description so you can get one for yourself. You take the extension cable, you put this shit inside of the switch dock, somehow finagle it to fit in, and then you attach the extension cable to the switch itself. This is the screen we're gonna be testing this thing on. It's like a little portable monitor. I try to get the streaks off, make it look pretty for you niggas, but I don't know. So let's see if this whole thing without putting the switch in the dock works. I'll confer with you niggas in a minute. So that test kind of failed because the power bank is not able to successfully supply enough power to the TV, well, to the little monitor that we have here, and the switch dock at the same time. So the switch dock needs its own AC power adapter, so I'm about to get that really quick. So now it's time to see if this method really does work. And would you look at that? There we go, my nigga. Oh shit. Okay, hold on. It's different, like seeing it in the videos and it working, but this is legit right here. So as you can see, we have Breath of the Wild running on the little monitor here from this USB output on the switch dock. So this method definitely does work. Look at that, dudes. So we have the switch now running in dock mode without it actually being in the dock. No scratches. The only thing is you're probably not going to want to use a pink cable for this. I mean, unless you accessorize somehow, but you know, the switch only comes in a black dock. So don't use a pink cable. If I had an option, I probably would have used anything else but this is the only one that would have come through in the same day with Amazon. So it works 100% guaranteed. This method is official. You avoid all scratches, and plus it's very cheap to do. Like I said, the only problem here would be if you wanted to do it for aesthetic purposes. This doesn't look too hot. This looks like a fucking plate of mashed spaghetti, nigga. Like it doesn't look efficient. It doesn't really look clean. So you would have to kind of figure out a way to get a long enough cable and then arrange it properly, but it works for what it is, man. Okay. So what did we learn today, boys and girls? That this method does actually work. Even though there's been a lot of other YouTube videos that do show that, I know for myself it works now. The only problem would be the aesthetics, but I'm going to try to figure out a way for me to make this look as appealing to the eye as possible. You know, how it looked right there was messy, but hopefully I can come up with a way to just, you know, smooth the whole thing out. Now, this is a very effective technique. The only thing you would have to worry about at this point is the positioning of the dock too. Like I don't think leaving it laying down like that is kind of a prime idea, but we'll see. Either way, at least it works, and it's 100% no fail whatsoever. Any extension cable from the nub on the inside of the dock will transmit the signal from the switch to the TV with no problem whatsoever. So with that knowledge, go do what you do. If you have anything else interesting about this that you want me to take a look at, or maybe something that you did for yourself, you can feel free to either email me or you can excuse me, I said shit. You can shoot me something on Twitter DMs or in mentions, whatever. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves, and of course, as usual, please have yourself a damn good one.